Up next, Brookside Gardens in Wheaton celebrates the Big 5-0. Join us for this botanical bash. Afterwards, we'll weed out its history, and then dig into our archives for some past stories. Stay tuned.
Planted, it has approximately 1,000 plants.
"2019 is a significant year for Brookside Gardens. It celebrates its Golden Jubilee. And on July 12th, the Gardens threw itself a birthday party. Park staff, county and state officials, dedicated volunteers, and visitors young and old joined together to honor this unique public garden.
Thank you for being here on this beautiful morning, and let's give Brookside Gardens a round of applause. So Brookside Gardens' value to our community only increases over time. In today's increasingly busy and distracting world, it's so important to have places where you can get grounded, reflect, and re-energize.
For me, what makes Brookside Gardens special is what makes any great park special, which is the ability to bring people together.
There is no place quite like Brookside Gardens, and to celebrate the golden anniversary of the crown jewel of our park system is such a special opportunity for me, and really a reflection of all of the work that has gone in to making this place what it is today.
Brookside Gardens was christened on July 13th, 1969, 1 week before the moon landing, and 1 month before Woodstock. Richard Nixon was president. The median sales price of a house was about $25,000, and gas was 35 cents per gallon. Sesame Street made its debut on PBS. But times were also tumultuous. A place that could offer county residents beauty and serenity, along with educational opportunities, was opened. The planning actually began in 1965, when the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission approved a portion of Wheaton Regional Park for an arboretum. It was situated on a site formerly owned by Stadler Nursery. The original design team comprised Joe Condis, Carl Schoening, Carl Hahn, and Hans Hanses. Hanses primarily developed the design, using many European concepts he learned while training in Germany and Switzerland. His goal was to inspire visitors to the garden by displaying plants that were not only pleasing to look at, but readily attainable and suitable for the region's climate. The garden was 25 acres, with a staff of 11 to care for the plants, trees, and flowers. An estimated 35,000 visitors came that first year. They saw 3 formal gardens leading to a wedding gazebo, an azalea walk, plantings around the entrance, and a conservatory. Today, the award-winning garden stands at 54 acres and welcomes more than 400,000 visitors each year.
And sometimes there's tadpoles in here.
The landscape features distinct garden rooms and walks, 2 conservatories, a Japanese tea house overlooking a pond, and paved and natural surface pathways that wind through the gardens. A children's garden allows kids to play and learn, and the visitor center contains classrooms, a library, a gift shop, and an auditorium. From horticulture classes for adults, to seasonal art shows, to camps for kids, there's always something sprouting. Each year, community events such as the live butterfly show, the Garden of Lights, and outdoor concerts make it a seasonal destination for both county residents and out-of-town visitors. Brookside is also a popular choice for weddings, birthday parties, and other events.
That's perfect.
The photographers and artists love it too.
There's no ray petals.
And don't forget about the horticulturalists. They are part of a team of 29 full-time employees and 50 part-timers who are literally experts in their fields.
It's okay to put the planting medium in the hole, but try to mix it with soil.
Ready to answer visitors' questions about gardening or to discover the newest science and sustainability practices.
Worms are actually great recyclers.
Then there are the 600 volunteers who keep things humming. The Friends of Brookside Gardens, founded in 1996, puts on plant shows and programs, raises money, and contributes to the garden's master plan. Over the years, generous supporters have enabled the expansion of the gardens, the visitor center, and the greenhouse. The Montgomery Parks Foundation oversees donations in the form of memorial benches and trees, as well as garden projects.
Congratulations on all your success. We are so fortunate to have Brookside Gardens here. There's 3,000 counties in the country, and there's probably not a single private facility of this caliber anywhere else.
It's a reminder that of the best things that are about our county and our country, really, where everyone can come together, have some peace, have some recreation, connect with people maybe that they don't know, learn about them. That's really what we need. That's what parks are about. So it's really apropos that today we're celebrating this in the midst of everything that's going on.
And people from all demographic and socioeconomic backgrounds come here to celebrate and to enjoy nature. And the other incredibly important element of Brookside Gardens is that we're teaching our next generation about the importance of conservation and about the importance of our connection to nature.
And I think it's a great example of what a place can be to a community. There were 300-400 people here today. Each of us brought our own stories of why we have this special connection to the garden. And I think it's amazing to be one of those stories and have that connection to all these different people.
Working with all the people and the volunteers, it was absolutely fun coming to work every day with Brookside Gardens. The best job I ever had.
A friend of mine once observed that, it really takes 50 years to make a garden, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, it has to fill in, it has to grow, it has to mature, and that's something that can't be hurried along. Over in that direction is a dawn redwood, and it's a tree that was really only known as a fossil before the 1940s. We got one in about 1970, and I planted it. It is over there. It was probably 6 feet tall when we got it. It is now over 100 feet tall.
Well, I do my own personal gardening, and I like to walk around here, and you can learn when the pruning should take place. You can see what they've done here. You can get ideas for landscaping design, which I'm interested in.
Yeah, I grew up in Silver Spring as a kid, and it's just very beautiful and serene. Now that I have kids, I like to bring them here. I think around December, I brought them to the train exhibit, and it was just so much fun. I just think it's a beautiful place.
Here at County Cable Montgomery, we've visited the gardens many times. In honor of its anniversary, we've pulled up some past segments featuring some of the people who have helped make Brookside what it is today.
I am Roger Haynes. I'm the caretaker. Somebody said I was the curator. I'm not the curator, I'm the curator of the Rose Garden. I've been here for 35 years, and it'll be 36 years in September. This has been my pet project for the whole time that I've been here. Yeah, this is my office. This rose garden that people can come and see is about 10,000 square feet of bed space, and where the roses are planted, it has approximately 1,000 plants, maybe 100 different varieties. This particular rose is called Sentimental, and it's S-C-E-N-T, so it's got a very good fragrance if you wanted to take and smell it. You wanted to smell it?
Yeah, look, smell this rose.
And most people, when they think of a rose, they think of the fragrance that goes with it. One of the things that I've been trying to do when roses need to be replaced is replace them with roses that have a heavy fragrance. My desire is to be able to have people smell the rose garden from the parking lot.
Hi, I'm Ellen Hartraft, a horticultural supervisor at Brookside Gardens, and I'd like to talk to you about container gardening. If you have a townhouse, condominium, or apartment and you'd like to bring nature a little bit closer to you, you can garden in containers for very low cost and low maintenance. This container you can purchase at your local hardware store, and it's planted with annuals for summer-long color. It's got papyrus, euphorbia, and coleus. You can select plants for sun or shade. Now this container I made myself at a very low cost using Portland cement, perlite, and shredded paper. This is a year-round container planting. You can create miniature landscapes using hardy evergreens such as this spruce. You can complement it with a beautiful foliage color and contrast with the coral bells and the golden sedums. You can use herbs.
Hello, I'm Jim Doremus, a horticulturist here at Brookside Gardens, here to talk to you about tulips. They're very easy to grow. Typically, you would plant them around Halloween, but just make sure that you choose a site that's well drained and that's protected from the deer and the rabbits, because they absolutely love to eat these plants. We have many questions about what to do with the foliage after the bloom is finished, because typically it will start turning brown and not look so good. So what we do, one trick we use, is to interplant them among perennials that will be increasing in size as the tulips are decreasing in size, as their foliage ripens. The one thing you want to make sure you do, though, is to break off the tip, break off the seed head, so that the bulb's energy doesn't go into producing seed. Instead, it goes into making a large bloom for next year.
So this is actually our second labyrinth. Our original labyrinth was on this site, but it was basically an outline of the labyrinth in cobbles, and then the inside was this fine gravel, which was great for a while, but what we found was that kids loved to pick up that gravel and throw it. So when we made a decision that we really wanted the labyrinth to be a permanent feature of the gardens, we purchased a kit. So you can purchase a kit where all the stones are pre-cut, and our staff installed this permanent labyrinth, and that was about 2012, 2013. And we've had it here ever since, and people love it. There are lots of different styles of labyrinths, and this one is a 9-circuit classical labyrinth, which we chose because it's very simple. It's a very simple style. So here at Brookside Gardens, we understand the benefits of nature to wellness. Actually, there's been a lot of research showing that people who suffer from trauma from any number of sources, it could be PTSD, depression, chronic illness, people who suffer can really benefit from exposure to nature. So having this labyrinth here is great in and of itself, but the fact that it's in nature and surrounded by the gardens amplifies all of the benefits.
This light extravaganza is more than a half a mile long and contains close to 1 million colorful lights. It takes the folks here at Brookside Gardens many weeks to put this exhibit together for families to enjoy. When do you start setting all this up?
Starting in September, we start wrapping trees, checking the forms, make sure they work correctly, put them into the garden, and starting in November, right around Thanksgiving, the show starts. And then we run it through the beginning of January.
For you personally, is this kind of neat to see all these families come out?
I enjoy it. I know they're having a good time.
Beautiful. Everything's so beautiful.
I'm really impressed. I never really thought how much time it might take to do something like this.
You buy your admission at the gift shop, and then you'll be walking down this long garden path through our butterfly garden on your way to the entrance to the Wings of Fancy exhibit. So you can learn which plants you need to grow, not just to attract the adults, but also to feed the caterpillars and help butterflies thrive in our area. You can learn a lot about butterflies and gardening for butterflies before you even get to the front door of our exhibit. Inside this greenhouse, we have butterflies from all over the world flying around freely.
I want a butterfly to land on my finger.
Among plants that provide them with nectar and also fruit juices, if that's what they prefer. You can see the entire life cycle of the butterfly when you come here, from eggs to caterpillars to the pupa to the flying adults. We also want you to just enjoy the motion and the color and the just kind of the fantasy land that this greenhouse becomes when it just becomes butterfly world.
Well, thanks for watching. We hope we've inspired you to take a trip to Brookside Gardens and experience its unparalleled beauty, educational opportunities, and sense of community. For more information, go to brooksidegardens.org.